Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Found safe. Authorities locate a mother and her toddler after a 6-hour search. The call that led officials to their location.
And cost comparison. The next time you make a purchase on Amazon, you could see two prices, the original price and the price because of President Trump's tariffs.
It is a happy outcome this noon in the nearly 6-hour search for a mother and her toddler. Sky 5 video showed that home in Wake Forest where they were located. A good afternoon to you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. A home on Mitchell Mill Road is about 25 miles from the house in Garner where they were kidnapped. WRAL's Carly Haynes is live after speaking with a neighbor. Carly.
Yeah, we were walking around this neighborhood where this Garner home is, and they were telling us that this is quiet, that people typically keep to themselves, but they would often see cars coming to and from this home. Now the only thing that remains of what happened last night is that crime scene tape right by the front steps. Police found Alondra de Jesus and her 1-year-old baby, Gracia Benitez, unharmed at a home in Wake Forest this morning. Garner police searched around the home with a canine and then eventually cleared that scene. Oh, it ended here, but it started 30 minutes away where we are right now at a home in Garner. That's where police say 2 men and a woman broke into the home wearing masks with guns and demanded $1 million from a man in the home. And when he didn't comply, police said the suspects taped him, then kidnapped his wife and baby. Now, police have yet to confirm the motive or the relationship between everyone involved, but neighbors tell us they saw that same car, a black Nissan Altima, early yesterday afternoon, then again in the evening.
I just seen the black car that was supposed to have been in the incident, and they pulled up yonder for a little while and just parked for a while. But and I kind of kept an eye on them because I figured that car was kind of new for the neighborhood. Next thing you know, about 20 minutes later, I seen them all pull off. So you know. And then the law come knocking on the door around 11:30.
As far as the suspects go, we don't have a lot of information on them. We don't know if they have been identified. We don't know if they have been arrested. We're waiting for that information from Garner Police, but we do know the FBI and the SBI are assisting in this investigation. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Garner.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, a search is underway for a Warren County man who is believed to have shot and killed his girlfriend early Saturday morning. Police are currently looking for 24-year-old Desmond Hargrove. That is him on the left. The Warren County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to Collins Road in Norlina early Saturday morning. That's when they found 16-year-old Stolirica Evans dead from a gunshot wound. The Sheriff's Office tells WRAL the two were dating. Hargrove was charged with first-degree murder. Anyone who knows where he is urged to call the Warren County Sheriff's Office. It is Education Day at the Durham Bowls. Students have a chance to experience interactive learning stations and take in a game in the same day. They also have the chance to meet meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, who is there live at the DBAP. Elizabeth, perfect weather for this wonderful event.
Yeah. So I don't know what just happened, but the Durham Bulls just did something amazing because everyone is yelling and screaming. I've done this 3 or 4 different years, and it's so much fun. You see all the friends that I've made behind me. So schools from all over our area come and learn a lot of different things about, we've got a fire truck down here, we've got parks and recreation, all kinds of cool stuff. But it's also just a fun day to be out at the ballpark. The weather could not be any more perfect today. Let's take a look at the forecast. Our temperatures, of course, now are in the low 70s. We're going to be climbing on up into the 80s around town this afternoon. 83 degrees for Raleigh and Durham and 85 in Fayetteville. So it's a beautiful day out here and just a wonderful time to get out here and enjoy what's happening. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about the big changes. It's going to be a lot hotter for tomorrow. We've got thunderstorms coming tomorrow and a little later in the week. But I've had so much fun. I got here around 9:30 or 10, and I've met so many wonderful kids. And these guys right here, let's hear it, y'all! All right, well, We'll be back in a few minutes.
We'll see you then. They're excited and ready for some fun. Well, covering Harnett County, thousands of people will have to wait to learn whether county commissioners will keep fluoride in the county's drinking water. The board tabled the vote during a meeting this morning until more research can be gathered. According to the CDC, fluoride prevents tooth decay and cavities. People in Fuquay-Varina, Holly Springs, and Johnston County also get their water from Harnett County.
Today's day 2 of jury selection in the trial of a Raleigh man accused of beating his mother to death. Christopher McCullough is charged with murder. Investigators say McCullough beat his parents in front of his 2-year-old child in August 2023. Attorneys for McCullough filed a defense called voluntary intoxication. That means he was drinking during the crime. If convicted, McCullough faces life in prison or the death penalty.
In less than an hour, lawmakers are expected to consider a bill that would allow criminals sentenced to death in North Carolina to choose new methods for their execution. State law currently identifies lethal injection as the primary mode for capital punishment in North Carolina. Due to legal challenges, the state has not carried out a death penalty sentence since 2006. But if executions were to resume, House Bill 270 would allow convicts to choose between lethal injection, electrocution, or death by firing squad. A legislative committee plans to discuss the bill today. For more on this, go to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com. Some state lawmakers hope a new proposal can help create more affordable housing. A legislative committee is discussing a bill that would allow many homeowners to build small homes in their backyards. Backyard homes are often called accessory dwelling units, or ADUs. Under House Bill 627, private covenants and homeowners associations could still ban accessory buildings, but North Carolina municipalities could not. Go to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com to read more about this bill.
President Trump marks his first 100 days of his second term tonight with a rally in Michigan. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer plans to meet today with Trump at Selfridge Air National Guard Base, but does not plan to attend the rally. President Trump repeatedly distanced himself from Project 2025 on the campaign trail. However, many plans he has rolled out align with the policy. According to a new NBC News poll, 39% of Americans approve of the president's handling of trade and tariffs. The White House is criticizing Amazon for how it plans to respond to President Trump's tariffs. Amazon says it may start soon displaying tariff costs for consumers right next to the product's listed price. It'll help illustrate to Americans how the tariffs affect the cost of goods. And this morning, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called it a hostile and political act.
Let's take a look at how Tuesday trading is going. Investors are feeling optimistic after a rush of fresh earnings reports. The Dow is up 270 points. Investors are also waiting on progress regarding trade deal negotiations. S&P 500 rather flat, but in the green. NASDAQ up 40 points right now.
Part of I-40 could remain closed until at least 3 o'clock because of a fiery crash that happened just before 6 o'clock this morning. This is in Sampson County. Sky 5 flew over the scene as crews raced to put those flames out shortly before 7 a.m. North Carolina State Highway Patrol said a single tractor trailer carrying fuel hit a slower moving passenger vehicle in the eastbound lane, and a pickup truck crashed into the tractor trailer, then causing the fire. The box truck crashed into the median while swerving to avoid all the damage. The driver of the overturned tractor trailer was airlifted from the scene with injuries. 2 other drivers were taken by ground to local hospitals with minor injuries. 1 person was seriously injured and 3 others had minor injuries.
And back here in the WRAL Live Center with just hours to go until Game 5 at the Lenovo Center for the Canes and the Devils tonight. We have just learned that Frederick Anderson will be out for Game 5. Pyotr Kochetkov is in. They've also said that Spencer Martin has been called up to step in. Anderson was not at this morning's skate session. The Canes have a 3-1 series lead against the Devils. They can close out the series tonight. Puck drop is at 7:30, but again, Anderson will not be in the crease tonight.
Thanks for that update, Michelle. Next on WRAL News, smoke over London. How fire at a power substation forced dozens of people to evacuate buildings.
Also back in business, power is restored in several European countries. Now the search for the outage cause.
Plus, Star Bar arrest. A Raleigh bar employee was arrested after an April shooting. How many others police say are linked to the shooting?
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.
Welcome back as we take a live look at Carolina Beach. Yes, it will definitely be beach weather this week with temperatures getting up into the 80s and then 90s this week. You're watching WRAL News, available on Spectrum and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Iraqi authorities say they've arrested a suspected member of ISIS connected to a deadly attack in New Orleans on New Year's Day. The suspect will be tried in Iraq under the anti-terrorism law. 14 people died after a pickup truck rammed into people in the French Quarter. The FBI identified the driver as a U.S. Army veteran who has sworn allegiance to the Islamic State. He was killed by police during a gun battle.
Investigators are searching for the cause of a fire in central London that forced dozens of people to evacuate a nearby building. You see the flames and smoke there. It started at an electrical substation around 5:30 this morning. Smoke and heavy flames could be seen billowing over the capital city. Nearly 100 firefighters battled that fire from the ground and from above on ladders. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported. Spanish authorities, meantime, have restored power to 99% of customers in the heart of Madrid following a massive power outage there. And there are major questions about what caused the blackout that spanned across borders from Spain to Portugal, parts of southern France as well. European authorities say there's no evidence it was a cyber attack responsible for the outage, but the cause is still under investigation.
This time of year, the winds of change blow often and strongly at times. Meteorologist Chris Michaels shows us why this year is a time to hold on to your hats in today's Ask the Meteorologist.
March and April just so happen to be the two windiest months out of the year, at least on average here in the Triangle. And that's certainly the case right about now here in the Triangle and in the Sandhills. Now, a lot of that has to do with the jet stream, or basically your railroad track for storm systems. When you have big temperature differences from north to south, like you often do in the spring, you get more storm systems to ride along the very active jet stream. Those storm systems being areas of low pressure, which is where the air tries to rush to in order to kind of fill the void. But there's an invisible force called the Coriolis force that takes that natural flow of air and it deflects it to the right. So a lot of times when you have these storm systems that go north of us, you get the air rushing toward us and gusting pretty high at times. So again, that happens most often in the months of March and April. Now, as we head through the final days of April and into the first few days of May, we do see wind gusts in excess of about 20 miles per hour pretty much each day. If you ever want us to go more in depth into something, that's how we got this segment. One of you guys asked a question. Make sure you go to WRAL.com, search Ask the Meteorologist, and hope to get around to it soon.
When you're talking about the wind and you're talking about baseball, you want to know if the wind is blowing out of the park. And Elizabeth talked about something good happening at the ballpark. Well, it's a 2-0 lead for the Bulls right now, as far as I can tell.
All right, and that's why we heard all of her new friends like cheering excitedly. And Elizabeth, what a fun day for Education Day.
This is really fun. I think I mentioned earlier that I get a chance to come and do this every year, and it's really always so much fun. And I feel like every time I've been, we've had really nice weather. It feels phenomenal out here right now. Now, all of you, I know, have seen the storm tracker, but the great thing about being here is I get to open it up and show it to all the kids and explain how it works. And the looks on their faces are just amazing. You know, they're like, wow. So it's nice to be able to introduce one of our favorite tools. Also, all the way up and down the concourse are all sorts of things for the kids to learn. Our friends at the fire department are down here. All sorts of neat things to learn while you're here at Education Days. And of course, the cherry on top is the fact that you get to go to the baseball game. And so, yeah, a lot of fun out here. The Bulls, it looks like, you know what? Yeah, Bulls are leading 2-0. So, I mean, that's a great game, right? Again, just an absolutely beautiful day out here. Let's take a look at our cameras up above. I think I've got a camera overlooking the ballpark, and you can see what's happening. Oh, well, it's actually Lake Gaston, but that's okay. Beautiful Lake Gaston as well for today. So, our temperature right now, 77 degrees. But what makes it feel so great is our dew point is in the mid-50s. That dew point at 54 feels really comfortable. The dew point's a measure of moisture in the atmosphere, so it just feels very comfortable out here right now. 75 is our temperature up in South Hill, 77 in the Triangle, and 78 degrees in Fayetteville. Taking a look around town, of course, temperatures are going to be in the low 80s for this afternoon. We have more humidity coming our way. It feels pretty comfortable now, but tomorrow our wind will continue to come out of the south, and it's going to really warm things up. So we're looking at tolerable to almost steamy for our dew point Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tomorrow we also have a chance of showers and thunderstorms. A front's going to drop in on us and help to bring us a chance of storms. That's going to be the case all the way through Friday and into Saturday as well. 76 is our normal high. It'd be kind of nice if we were going to see a high of 76, but we can't complain with that high of 83 today. 89 Wednesday, 90 on Thursday, 89 on Friday. So again, I think we just lucked out with the perfect day at the ballpark. 89 for the high on Wednesday is going to be a degree or so from the record, and then 90 in Fayetteville, looking at 92 for the record. So just below the record highs for tomorrow. But we also have that chance of showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. Looking at, of course, about a 40% chance we're going to see a front that dips southward, and then that chance increases late Friday and into Saturday. If you remember last weekend, we had a little bit of rain, a few storms on Saturday, and then a beautiful clear day on Sunday with low humidity. And that's exactly what we're going to see for this coming weekend. The Bulls have a homestand all week long, so if you're watching, you're probably at home. Lots of chances to come out and enjoy the Durham Bulls. And a huge crowd here for Education Days. They invite something like 3,500 students to come and do this. And so, hey, you know, if you're a parent, if you're a teacher, you know, come out and enjoy it. It's really great. Coming up in just a little while, we're going to talk in more detail about how the weekend looks with that chance for thunderstorms. Back to you guys.
Elizabeth, your office view certainly beats ours. We will live vicariously through you, and good to see you having fun on company time.
And Education Day for all. That's awesome stuff. Elizabeth, thank you.
Boosting patrols on the Greenway. Raleigh police are taking action against owners with unleashed dogs on greenways across the city. Today on WRAL News at 4, the areas officers are targeting and the penalties you could face if you get caught.
And more oversight for dentists. Lawmakers want to ensure the state's dental board is prioritizing your safety over dentist jobs. Tonight at 6, WRAL investigates the patient horror stories and why change could happen soon. Fuel code flub still ahead this noon. You may have paid more than you needed to for your vehicle registration. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur breaks down how to get your money back.
The DMV is now fixing a problem 5 on your side discovered last year. Thousands of vehicle registrations have the wrong fuel codes, meaning some people paid too much in fees. Keely Arthur explains what those people need to do to get a refund.
There's a letter code on your registration that shows whether your car is gas, electric, or hybrid. After a viewer tip, we found car dealerships forced the wrong fuel code on more than 26,000 titles in 2023 alone. This happened to recent NC State grad Dan Webb. His hybrid pickup truck was incorrectly marked as an electric on the title application. He ended up getting charged electric vehicle fees that don't apply to his truck.
Mark for $180 for an EV tax and some municipal taxes. I think it was like $70.
A DMV spokesperson tells us that incorrect fuel code changes made by dealers started being corrected on January 16th when owners renew their registration. For customers that paid too much in fees because of a code error, they are being refunded on a case-by-case basis, but they still need to call the DMV to ask for that refund. Now, the DMV has a block in place to prevent dealers from being able to make these fuel code changes in the future. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Today, a proposal to regulate videos created by artificial intelligence will go before North Carolina lawmakers. The creation of videos known as deepfakes is largely unregulated. The AI Regulatory Reform Act would make it a crime to use fake audio or video of someone to harass them or hurt their reputation. The bill comes amid rising concerns that political groups could use fake video to influence elections. It has bipartisan support but needs votes from both the House and Senate to become law. Seeing natural beauty closer to home gets a little more expensive this week. Reservation fees at state campgrounds go up Thursday. It's the first major increase of fees for state park facilities since 2019. This affects peak season entry fees at reservoirs, state recreation areas, most camping sites, and some boat slip rentals.
Chinese internet retailer Temu has started adding charges to goods imported into the U.S. Called import charges, the fees are a response to President Trump's tariffs on China. Some of the fees range between 130 and 150% and can more than double the cost of some items. A child's bathing suit, priced at $12.44, ends up costing U.S. shoppers more than $31 once the import charge of 150% is added. That's according to CNBC. Temu says the charges cover all customs-related costs, including the import fees paid to customs authorities. Amazon has launched the first round of satellites for its Project Kuiper. 27 of the satellites were sent into space yesterday. Amazon is looking to build a constellation of more than 3,000 satellites that will offer internet service to people, businesses, and government. Kuiper will compete with Elon Musk's Starlink. That service already has 8,000 satellites in orbit. Amazon is spending as much as $10 billion to build the network. It hopes to begin service later this year. Replacing red dye, why the process could prove more difficult than anticipated.
And here are your winning NC Education lottery numbers on your screen. We'll be right back.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
An arrest has been made in connection to the problematic bar in Raleigh. A shooting outside the Star Bar earlier this month has led to the bar losing its alcohol license. And now at least one employee faces charges. WRAL's Sean Gallagher has been following this story and joins us now with what else he's learned about this. Sean.
Yeah, so far we've learned that a bartender here at Star Bar will be in court today facing charges after an incident here earlier this month, along with police looking for two other individuals who are connected with this bar. But Chianti Glover is facing two charges for selling alcohol after hours and allowing conduct on a licensed premises, both of which are misdemeanors. Warrants for Glover say she was selling alcohol here between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. on the night of the shooting. April 13th, Raleigh police responded after a rapper's van was filled with bullets in the early morning hours. It's the 17th incident police were called here for in the last 12 months, and 93 total calls for service were made for this location during that time. The most recent incident led to the bar losing its liquor license, the second time that's happened in the last 5 years. So this morning, we went to the home of the bar owner in Wake Forest to try and get some answers about what is going on at this bar, but no one was home. And law enforcement has also issued arrest warrants for two other individuals who are connected to Star Bar, including one person who is charged with working as an unlicensed armed security. Will, of course, be in court for that first appearance in just about an hour and bring more information to you later this afternoon. Outside of Star Bar, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, JetBlue Airways getting ready to announce a partnership with another U.S. airline in the coming weeks. That's according to the company's president. And one possibility could be United Airlines. JetBlue's leaders have repeatedly said that they need a partnership to better compete against larger airlines like United and American. Their planned acquisition of Spirit was blocked last year by the Justice Department. That never happened. They did reach out to Southwest Airlines. They declined to comment. And Delta said there was no pending announcement from them, so we'll have to see if it is indeed a partnership with United.
All right, thanks for that, Michelle. The FDA is removing artificial dyes in food and drinks, and that's triggering more businesses to seek natural alternatives. Experts say it's a complex process to convert dyes. Ted Lindner takes a closer look at how dyes are being swapped and what impacts it could have for the future.
One of the world's largest dye makers is putting the pedal to the metal.
The magic related to color, it all happens right here.
Scientists at Sensia Technologies Corp are trying to help a growing number of companies swap out artificial food colorings for natural ingredients. According to researchers, the race to convert dyes follows recent plans from the Trump administration to encourage food companies to voluntarily end the use of petroleum-based synthetic colors by the end of 2026. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has called these dyes poisonous compounds. The FDA also recently banned red dye number 3 over cancer risks in lab animals.
Most of our customers have decided that this is finally the time when they're going to make that switch to natural colors.
Labs can get pigments from a variety of natural products, including insects and vegetables. Teams are trying to get the right balance of colors to mimic artificial dyes.
Lots of technical challenges.
But it's a long process. It can take anywhere from 6 months to a year to change out the dyes in a single product. Besides being harder and more expensive to formulate, natural dyes also require more materials to be grown and harvested. Some concerns remain over the ability to source certain ingredients at a larger scale.
Study after study has shown that if all companies were to remove the synthetic colors from their formulations, the supply of the natural alternatives would not be enough, right? So we are not really ready. But it seems like the right direction to take.
That was Ted Lindner reporting. And while some countries still permit the use of red dye number 3, U.S. imports must meet domestic safety standards.
Today, Wake County school leaders will revisit a proposal for a new remote learning plan. This proposed plan would utilize an asynchronous remote learning next school year if bad weather closes schools. Now, on those days, students and teachers would use apps like Canvas or paper packets for class. The plan is essentially the same as the one the district is already using. This year, most year-round schools had to hold school on Saturdays twice, and that's because the school system was not prepared to conduct remote learning. The Wake County School Board will also discuss a new draft policy on cell phones in the classroom today. Last week, they worked on defining what counts as an emergency and when cell phones would be needed. They are looking for more guidance. This could be decided by state lawmakers.
Well, it's a special day at the DBAP, Education Day, where teachers and students are welcome for a fun, enlightening day at the ballpark. And meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is doing her best to give her science lesson today, meeting the crowds out there, showing off the WRAL storm tracker. You got it all going on right now. Now, live preview of this weekend's forecast as well this week.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, what a fun day. I mean, the weather couldn't be more perfect. There's no humidity, there's lots of sunshine, and lots of fabulous friends to meet. We've met so many great kids out here. I mean, how about this? Is this the best field trip ever? Yes. Yes, absolutely. So, there's some learning that's happening here. All the way down the concourse, we have interactive educational stations for the kids to learn about all kinds of things. There's science experiments, there are healthcare things that you can learn about. We got a big fire truck. So this is always just a fun event. And of course, the icing on the cake is you get to watch the Durham Bulls. So lots of fun out here, perfect weather. It's a good thing that this wasn't happening tomorrow because we have some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. We'll walk you through tomorrow's storms and take a look at the weekend, which also is looking a little bit wetter.
Thanks, Elizabeth. How about this? Coming up, the Carolina Hurricanes tonight looking to move on to the next round of the playoffs in the Stanley Cup. They will have to do it, though, without goaltender Frederik Andersen. He started the first 4 games of this series, but he is out due to an injury for Game 4. Canes host the New Jersey Devils for Game 5 of their opening round series tonight. They have that commanding 3-1 lead right now, so a win tonight would finish off the Devils. Puck drops at the Lenovo Center, 7:30 tonight.
An incredible survivor story. A dachshund is found after 16 months in the wilderness. How rescuers found her.
Relay for Life. How about this? Marks 40 years this year. What you can expect for this year's event in the Triangle. It celebrates cancer survivors and their support squads. Our team, as always, is working to bring you exclusive stories for coverage you will find only on WRAL. You can visit WRAL.com and search only.
A crowd of more than 100 people packed a town hall meeting in Zebulon last night. They were hoping to get answers about a major change in town leadership. Town manager Gilbert Todd Jr. resigned after less than 4 months on the job. He says the Board of Commissioners instructed him to place the assistant town manager on administrative leave. That's despite having no grounds to do so, according to him. 4 days later, Assistant Town Manager Kellyanne Williams also resigned. At last night's meeting, the mayor denied any wrongdoing, but left it at that. Zebulon leaders say the top priority is filling those positions. Former St. Augustine's University head men's basketball coach Clarence Brown is suing the university. Court documents show St. Aug cut Brown's position in December. The school slashed its staff in half late last year to reduce expenses. It also discontinued the men's basketball program. Brown says St. Aug ended his employment contract without cause, and it now owes him $23,000.
City leaders in Fayetteville want to hear what you have to say about the future of the city, what it'll look like going forward. The city is relaunching a monthly series called Fayetteville Out Front. That's happening tonight. It's designed to streamline conversations between community members and city officials. The first meeting is tonight at 6:30 at the Kiwanis Recreation Center. Relay for Life. It is much more than just a 5K. And after the break, we'll talk with organizers about how you can help spread the word about reducing cancer risk. And just look at beautiful Fenton right there. There's a reason we showed you that shot. I'll tell you in a second. No one faces cancer alone. Each year, the American Cancer Society holds events across the country to support and celebrate survivors and caregivers. This marks 40 years nationally of Relay for Life, and WRAL is a proud media partner here locally, and we are joined by Triangle Relay event coordinator. So happy to have Megan Skidmore here, as well as Ashley Wickline, Senior Development Manager for the American Cancer Society. Thank you both.
Hey, thanks for having us
Yeah,
again.
very excited for this weekend. A lot of good stuff going on. 2025, as I mentioned, marks 40 years for Relay for Life. What about the importance here locally, Megan, that this event allows to spread the word out there?
Yeah, so Relay for Life of the Triangle, which is part of the American Cancer Society, is absolutely fantastic. So we have been involved, not fully for the whole 40 years, but we have also been really big leaders in raising or being a part of that $7 billion that Relay for Life has really raised over the last 40 years, which is pretty incredible. And in doing that, we're able to bring awareness. So we, fund research. We make sure that folks can prevent cancer, detect cancer, treat cancer. We support the survivors. So it's pretty incredible.
Big deal. And you find nice little spin-offs and ways to, make it better each year. I know this is the second time for the Relay for Ribbons 5K that'll be out there. So tell me about that. I mean, we're going to Fenton and Cary to get this done. That's why we showed that shot coming in here.
Yeah.
But what about the Relay for Ribbons this year?
So this is our second time being at Fenton. We're so thankful that they let us be there. And the Relay for Ribbons is a non-competitive 5K that we have tacked on to our typical Relay for Life event. With the Relay for Life event, we have our opening ceremonies, a survivor lap, caregiver lap. Then we'll kick off the 5K around 9 a.m. and followed up with our wonderful Luminaria ceremony that Paragon Theater lets us have in one of their theaters.
I think it's just a great way to spend brunch out there, right? And
Absolutely.
have a little walk, have a little non-competitive run, right? So that's what participants can expect. It'll be a busy day full of events, all ramping up around noon or so. How are donations going? What's what's the goal and where do we stand here?
Right. So I'm not sure as of today what our current donation is, but our goal for this year is roughly $100,000, and we're over halfway to that goal right now. So the best thing I can say is, we hope that you'll come out and support us. And if you've never considered donating to American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, it is just a great, wonderful cause to be involved with because we are all touched by cancer.
Yeah, everyone. And we would love to see folks out there. Get out there, register, come join us. Triangle Relay for Life takes place Saturday, Fenton and Cary. Warm up, as we mentioned, 8:45, 5K, 9 o'clock. I'm going to be out there serving proudly as MC for this year's event, and I cannot wait for it. It's going to be super fun. And if you can't make it out there, you can just sleep in and just donate.
That's right.
Just donate and sleep in and have a good time. Enjoy it. But I wish you both success.
Thank
luck
you.
This week. And I can't
We'll see you
wait to
there.
get out there.
We'll see you Saturday.
I will see you out there Saturday morning for certain, and looking forward to it. So great event on the way. Hope you'll join us. Renee?
Jeff, I know races and relays are your jam, and you will set the tone for that wonderful event. And great weather for the weekend, by the way. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, we're missing you in the studio, but we know you're not missing us because you're having fun out at the DVAP on Education Day. I see you got a good seat.
I did. Now, I miss y'all. I wish y'all were sitting beside me. I mean, I'm missing you guys, and I'm missing a Coke and a hot dog. But other than that, I mean, look at all the friends. Look at this, as far as you can see. So much fun. They have packed the stands. And I tell you what, you missed just a minute ago. The Durham Bulls hit a home run, and the Bulls snorted, and all that stuff that happens. And so much fun out here right now. I mean, it couldn't be better, Of course, we're going to see the weather starting to change tomorrow. A couple things are going to happen. Our southerly flow is going to really kick in, and it's going to get hotter and more humid. And we have none of that happening today. I mean, it's really, really nice. We take a look at the camera right here in the stands. Blue sky and just a few big puffy clouds, but we're seeing that really everywhere. So we'll take a look at the cameras all across the area, and it's pretty warm out there. You take a look. We got Chapel Hill, we got Raleigh, we got Fayetteville, and Apex. It's just pretty everywhere you look. Our next weather maker is the high pressure system that's bringing us all this warm air today, and it's just going to keep heating us up. Today's nice and dry, but starting tomorrow we have that chance of some scattered thunderstorms, and then it increases for Friday and Saturday. This is a look at tomorrow. Of course, we're not worried about any rain today. Tomorrow we'll start to see the clouds increasing, and right around 5 or 6 o'clock. Okay, that was not a home run. Just FYI, we're not missing anything. Doing some sort of fun promotion thing over here. But you can see it's the rain that starts to move through around between 5 and 7 o'clock. So it could affect our evening commute for tomorrow. And then after that, it begins to taper off later on in the evening. And then we'll see more rounds of it. The cold front gets closer to us. Thursday looks fairly dry. But late Friday and again like Saturday, ahead of and along that front, we'll have a chance for thunderstorms almost identical to the same pattern that we saw last weekend. Then high pressure builds in, and we'll see nice, dry, cool air coming in for Sunday. How much rainfall? We could use some rainfall. We're still abnormally dry across a good bit of the viewing area, so it looks pretty good actually. Anywhere from a half an inch to 3/4, maybe an inch. For Saturday, in terms of getting outside forecast, we put the yellow light on just because there'll be some showers and storms. Sunday looks absolutely amazing. On Saturday, we are, of course, the proud sponsors of the Race for the Cure. So I think most of the rain will be later in the day. So I think we're going to be okay. Of course, the big thing to notice is, it's going to be hot for tomorrow as well as Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures close to 90, and that's near a record high for this time of year. Sometimes it's hard to sit out here at a Bulls game, down here, down the third baseline in the sun because it's hot. But I'll tell you what, not today. We're just hanging out, being cool, looking cool. Back to you guys.
Easy for her to do.
She saved 2 seats for us.
Yeah,
we will be there. We'll leave at 12:58 here and just head out to the DVAP. Elizabeth, thank you. All those excited cheers. They were cheering for the weather. And seeing Elizabeth Gardner.
And Elizabeth, yeah. And a 3-0 lead out there in 6th inning.
That too.
Going to the 7th.
Good day at the DVAP. Missing miniature. A dog has been found alive after, get this, spending 529 days alone in the wilderness. Why she won't be returned to her owners just yet.
And here, have a look at your winning Powerball numbers on your screen. Live look right here from our WRAL Live Cam Network. One of the new ones here, Carr Lake. It is a bonus camera right there from the Virginia side. Looking back right there, the blue skies and some puffy clouds as we make our way through our Tuesday. We're wrapping things up here with a look at a few of the headlines for you today. A mother and her one-year-old child have been found safe. Police found Alondra Michelle Benitez de Jesus and her child, Gracia Salome Alejandro Benitez, unharmed at a home in Wake Forest this morning. The police say 2 men and a woman broke into a home in Garner with guns and demanded $1 million from a man in that house. When he didn't comply, the suspects taped him and then kidnapped his wife and baby. Police have yet to confirm the motive or the relationship between everyone involved.
We learned today that Warren County deputies are searching for a man believed who has shot and killed his girlfriend on Saturday morning. Investigators responded to a home on Collins Road in Norlina after learning someone was shot around 4:30 in the morning. Deputies found a 16-year-old female, Silrika Evans, dead from a gunshot wound. Desmond Hargrove has been charged with first-degree murder.
Part of I-40 in Sampson County is still closed after a tractor-trailer exploded, causing a fire on the road. Sky 5 flew over that scene near Faison around 6:50 this morning. Just before 7 a.m., the North Carolina State Highway Patrol said a single tractor-trailer carrying fuel hit a slower-moving vehicle in the passenger lane, and then a passenger in that vehicle was in the eastbound lane. A pickup truck crashed into the tractor-trailer, and that's what caused the big fire.
One airline is fit for a princess. Alaska Airlines revealed a new Disney-themed plane to celebrate the theme park's 70th anniversary next month. Tiana's Bayou Adventure Flyer joins the lineup of 3 other Disney-themed parks in the Alaska Airlines fleet. It took more than 2,000 hours to paint characters from The Princess and the Frog on the plane.
A miniature dachshund who disappeared in the Australian wilderness well over a year ago is now safe and sound. A little dachshund named Valerie disappeared back in November 2023 when her owners took her on a camping trip to Kangaroo Island in southern Australia. Now, she survived on that rugged island for 529 days. Rescuers used her owner's T-shirt and some dog food to lure her to a remote-controlled trap.
We want to return her to her beautiful owners the best way possible and not cause her any more trauma.